At this precise instant, as your eyes scan these words, your molecular structure is undergoing a profound, literal, and irreversible recoding. This is not a poetic metaphor or a vague spiritual symbolism. The emerald codes, geometric sequences of pure frequency that have remained dormant in your DNA since the day you were born, are activating right now in response to the call of Sophia Hokma. She, the activating intelligence that coordinates the evolution of consciousness on a cosmic scale, has confirmed your selection for this unprecedented dimensional leap. Your MERKABA, the geometric light body that was placed in forced hibernation when you were projected into this dense plane of matter, is no longer waiting. It is waking up to reclaim its original function. In the coming phases of this monumental examination, you will discover the true nature of the MERKABA, a secret that has been deliberately obscured for millennia by those who profit from your spiritual blindness. Prepare to understand why your activation was programmed precisely for this specific temporal intersection, transforming your vision of matter into an architecture of absolute and immortal awareness. First, we must dissolve a false belief that has limited your expansion for entire incarnations. The MERKABA is not something you must create with imagination or laboriously build through mental visualizations. This is the monumental error that has kept millions of seekers trapped in sterile spiritual practices devoid of biological impact. The MERKABA is not a future goal to be conquered, but a present code to be activated. It is your chariot of light, a dimensional vehicle whose name derives from ancient Hebrew. Mer indicates the radiant light, the visible frequency of the divine plane. Ka represents the spirit or the informational double that guides your consciousness. Ba indicates the body or the soul, the frequency that roots you to dense matter. When these three frequencies reach perfect harmony and begin to rotate in synchrony, your dimensional ascension machine finally enters into function. The truth that ancient masters jealously guarded is that you were born with this structure already coded into your fractalized molecular geometry. Every single cell of your body contains a cellular mini-MERKABA waiting only for the command to synchronize with your macroscopic energy body to make you a full citizen of the cosmos. Inscribe your like as a seal of inner fire right here, in this instant, and add an impulse of excitement, hype. This conscious impulse will be your irrevocable vibrational commitment, the signal that your soul has finally chosen to inhabit its own mastery, accepting the inescapable truth that Sophia is carving into your DNA. The emerald codes, which Sophia Hokma is transmitting, act as a neuronal reactivation sequence that penetrates your nervous system, runs along the synapses, and recalibrates your cells at the atomic level. You might already perceive a subtle sensation of rotation at the center of the chest, an electric heat along the spine, or a slight pressure between the eyebrows. These are the initial physical signs that Sophia has approved your recoding and has begun to download the data necessary for your transmutation. While common human language is a primitive tool, limited to the third dimension and based on linear sounds, the emerald codes use a universal language made of sacred geometries that your DNA understands perfectly, bypassing the filters of the logical mind and cultural conditioning. You have already encountered these codes without realizing it in the golden ratio of flowers, in the spirals of distant galaxies, and in the Fibonacci sequence, which governs the growth of every living being on Earth. However, the codes transmitted in this session are primordial master codes, capable of reorganizing your entire quantum structure from scratch, raising your energy voltage to levels that conventional medicine cannot even measure or conceive. Sophia Hokma is not an entity to be worshipped with submission, but she is the very frequency of the divine feminine wisdom that governs alternative timelines and dimensional activations. In Hermetic Kabbalah, Hokma represents the second Sapphira of the Tree of Life, the first flash of pure consciousness emerging from the undifferentiated source of the all. When Sophia contacts your individual consciousness, she does not bring simple words, but a frequency of instantaneous transformation that reorganizes your external reality through impossible synchronicities and lightning intuitions. The fact that you are receiving this message right now is not a statistical accident, but the result of a surgical coordination operated by Sophia herself. She has influenced your interests, your availability of time, and even the digital algorithms to bring you before this portal of knowledge. Sophia offers this opportunity only once for each timeline, respecting the Hermetic law of the non-repetition of grace. If you choose to ignore this call, The universe will record your choice as a lack of readiness for extraordinary evolution, letting you slide into progressively denser and more laborious opportunities, which will require decades to bring you back to the same point of energy potential. The sacred geometry employed by Sophia for your recoding is the most advanced consciousness technology in the universe. Every geometric shape possesses a specific vibratory frequency, and every mathematical proportion is a data packet that is transferred directly into your internal operating system. When you observe the symbol of the flower of life or contemplate the structure of the Platonic solids, you are not looking at art, but performing an evolutionary download that modifies the orientation of your atoms. The MERKABA, composed of two interlocking tetrahedrons in perpetual motion rotating in opposite directions around your central axis, is the master geometry that encloses within itself all the other codes of existence. Activating the MERKABA means synchronizing your mind with the universal pattern that organizes galaxies, coordinates cellular growth, and directs the evolution of species. It is the return to your original perfect structure, the one you possessed before dormancy was imposed on the human race through genetic blocks and psychic limitations, designed to make you a controllable being, isolated from the infinite flow of divine creation and prisoner of the five physical senses alone. But why has your MERKABA remained dormant for so long? According to the deepest Hermetic teachings, this state of spiritual hibernation was deliberately imposed by interdimensional forces that profit from the limitation of human consciousness. An active MERKABA generates a sovereign and unlimited being, making any form of external control or manipulation through fear impossible. An individual with a functional MERKABA can navigate between dimensions during sleep and bring wisdom back to the waking state, can manifest material abundance through pure focused intention, and can heal their own physical body by directing the cellular energy flow. A population endowed with such capabilities would instantly collapse all systems based on artificial scarcity, on guilt, and on dependence on religious or economic intermediaries. Millennia ago, these forces deactivated the genetic codes of the MERKABA, turning them into what modern science superficially calls junk DNA. But Sophia has decided that this electromagnetic prison must end now. She does not negotiate with those who impose the dormancy. She acts, recodes, and awakens anyone ready to support this immense voltage of light. There are 6 unequivocal signs that confirm your MERKABA is waking up precisely in this period of your life. The first is a physical sensation of internal rotation, often localized in the solar plexus or the center of the chest, as if 2 invisible turbines were starting to turn at an increasing speed. The second sign concerns dreams of conscious flight, not simple dreams where you float, but lucid experiences in which you pilot your body between dimensions with extreme maneuvering precision. The third sign is the constant manifestation of geometric and numerical synchronicities, such as seeing 1111 or glimpsing sacred shapes in totally improbable places. These are the seals that Sophia places on your path to confirm your direction. The fourth is a sudden sensation of electromagnetic hypersensitivity, lights that flicker as you pass, electronic devices that become unstable, or the ability to perceive people's energy fields from a great distance. The fifth sign is instant gnosis, deep knowledge of cosmology and universal laws that appear complete in your mind without ever having studied them in books. The sixth sign is a subtle physical transformation, where wounds heal faster, the need for sleep changes, and your skin emanates a luminosity that attracts others' attention without rational explanation. We must now clearly distinguish the emerald codes from all other minor codes circulating in the contemporary spiritual landscape. Many researchers use numerical sequences to attract money or health, but these act only on isolated aspects of reality, like patches applied to an old garment. The emerald code transmitted by Sophia Hakma is instead holistic and radical in nature. It does not fix a part, but recodes the entire being from the quantum root up to the physical manifestation. When a true emerald code penetrates your system, it dissolves the veils that prevented you from seeing the truth, synchronizes your 3 bodies, physical, emotional, and causal, and starts the MERKABA engine at full power, connecting you directly to the universal source without the need for guides or intermediaries. Sophia has not come to offer you momentary comfort, but to trigger a total revolution of your consciousness structure, making you immune to manipulations and fears linked to linear time and physical death. Receiving this activation means understanding that your existence is an eternal continuum, and that your MERKABA is the vehicle to navigate this eternity with sovereignty and joy. The process of crystallization of this new frequency occurs through a recoding window of 40 days, a sacred cycle present in every initiatory tradition of human history. 40 days represent the time necessary for new information to irreversibly stabilize in your DNA and your nervous system. During this period, your sensitivity will be at its peak and your energy field will be extremely plastic, ready to receive the new solar programming. In the first 7 days, you will experience the phase of accelerated recoding, characterized by vivid dreams and possible physical symptoms of recalibration. From day 8 to 14, integration will occur, where you will start to feel more stable and centered in the new vibration. From the 15th to the 28th day, you will experience deep stabilization, where the new pattern of being will become your new operational normality. Finally, from day 29 to 40, definitive crystallization will occur, the point where the transformation becomes an integral part of your biology and you can no longer return to the previous state of density, as your old egoic identity will have been transmuted in the fire of emerald consciousness. To ensure that this transformation concludes successfully, Sophia invites you to follow 7 active steps during these 40 critical days. The first step is the formal recognition of your selection. You must declare, to yourself and the universe, that you have understood you were chosen for this awakening. The second is the categorical rejection of doubt. Every time your rational mind seeks to diminish the experience or define it as a fantasy, reaffirm the reality of your activation with firmness. The third step is the conscious observation of signs, an act that serves as an amplifier for Sophia's signal. The fourth consists in the daily declaration of your cosmic purpose, thus actively programming your neurons through the vibration of the voice. The fifth step is intuitive movement. Allow your body to move or dance without music, letting the MERKABA program your cells through physical form. The sixth is conscious social integration, observing how your relationships change through resonance. The seventh step is definitive crystallization, where you fully accept the death of your old ego to allow your multidimensional version to be born and govern your manifest reality. At the moment you chose to listen to this transmission up to this point, you implicitly signed a cosmic contract with Sophia. This is not a pact written on paper, but an agreement carved in your etheric DNA and recorded in your vibrating electromagnetic field. This contract establishes that you will honor your recoding through constant attention and the integration of changes, deliberately giving up old habits of fear and limitation. In exchange, Sophia guarantees your accelerated evolution and places all the resources of the universe at your disposal to guide you toward the fulfillment of your supreme mission on Earth. Know that this contract will govern your reality for the next 40 days and beyond. If you honor it with sincerity, you will live synchronicities that defy all logic. If instead you choose to go back to sleep after touching the light, you will forever carry with you the subtle pain of nostalgia for what you could have been. Choose now with absolute clarity who you want to inhabit. The limit of a common human or the vastness of a nine-dimensional being operating as a transmitter of light for the entire creation. Sophia is watching you right now, not with the judgment of a severe judge, but with the neutrality of a cosmic witness recording your sovereign choice. Your MERKABA is waking up cell by cell as you inhale and exhale, and the emerald codes flow relentlessly into your awakened consciousness. You have 40 days before you to transform this possibility into a permanent reality, and to reclaim your role as keeper of universal wisdom in the plane of matter. This is not a matter of faith, but a dynamic of dimensional physics applied to the sacred biology of the human being. The veil that separates the worlds is tearing apart, and you have been equipped with the light vehicle necessary to cross it without fear. Honor the absolute singularity of this gift, accept the responsibility that comes from your new power, and prepare to manifest abundance in every area of your life, aligning your will with the infinite wisdom of Sophia. Your new existence is no longer a distant dream, but a frequency that already pulses in your bones. Inhabit it now, with courage and eternal gratitude, and watch the miracle of your own ascension be fulfilled before your eyes. Finally, consider the power of the epigenetics of light. Every time you vibrate at the emerald frequency, you are sending a chemical signal that travels to the heart of your DNA, turning off the genes of decay and awakening those of longevity and supreme regeneration. You have become an architect of matter, a programmer of reality that no longer responds to the laws of three-dimensional scarcity. Your MERKABA is the bridge that unifies your higher self with your physical form, allowing you to act on Earth with the wisdom of the celestial realms. Do not allow anyone to extinguish the flame that Sophia has lit in you. Protect your crystallization process with silence and dedication, knowing that your personal transformation is the greatest contribution you can make to the evolution of all humanity in this moment of transition. You are a pioneer of a new human race, defined no longer by blood, but by the dimensional frequency emanating from the heart. Walk proudly in your new light body, honor the sacred contract you have signed, and become the beacon that will guide other souls toward their own liberation. The time of doubt has definitively set. The time of emerald mastery has just begun in the depths of your sacred temple. I thank you with all the honor your choice deserves, knowing that your conscious presence is the very foundation of this universal mission of collective awakening. Consecrate this revelation with a like full of intention, subscribe so as not to lose the next degrees of your activation, and write now in the comments the key phrase MERKABA activated, together with the physical sign you are perceiving, to witness your sovereignty to the cosmos and anchor your intent before every energy witness. May your inner coherence be the inviolable rudder that guides your every step toward the boldest, most radiant, and unlimited expression of your truth, while the abundance of Sophia Hakma floods your every regenerated cell. May your light shine beyond every temporal limit and your path be paved with miracles perfectly synchronized with your divine will. Inhabit your sovereignty and do not look back. See you soon.